I welcome you onto the editorials. My name is Nakokwe Atrepu. We still refer to our previous clause on this editorial. That being said, yet sikaso nanso ekom de. Where is the money? During the time that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was vying for the position of president, he knew exactly where the money we had was. He knew how much Ghana valued it. He knew where the money was hidden. He knew exactly how to get the money to ensure that Ghana was a better place. 6 years on as president of Ghana, and the money is nowhere to be found. Well, I do not know who is managing our economy anymore. We do not know who runs the country. We can't even bring ourselves to explain amongst the three. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the VIP, and Ken Ofori-Atta, the Finance Minister. Amongst the three, who is more ignorant about the financial situation in the country? On this note, I announce to you what you already know. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, through the Ministry of Information, our very own KOJO NKRUMAH, has relayed to us the President's decision for Ghana to ask for a bailout from IMF. That is the International Monetary Fund. It would surprise you to know that is, if you don't remember, we are not going back to the IMF because we are not short-sighted people. I dare say we are. Our predicament and situation today tells us that the very short-sightedness that led us to believe in this very government is the same sight leading us back to the IMF. What changed? The Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government was so sure that returning to the IMF was disastrous to the nation. In fact, they suggested and were so much convinced that a homegrown strategy was the key to unlocking our economic distress. Wasn't that the reason why Ghanaians had to suffer the payment of the famous e-levy? According to our financial guru, our very own VIP, the e-levy was our savior. Do you also remember, Befi? We are not going to the IMF for small boys to dictate to us how to manage our economy. We at WhaTV would like to know, are the small boys going to take over now? And if indeed they are, that is, If they are, then what then is the use of Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister, and his allies? The president might as well kick them all out. Ken Ofori-Atta reminded us some years ago that the reason why we were unable to employ teachers and nurses was because we were already under IMF during that period. He stressed on the fact that we were not going back to the IMF. Yet today, we are. And I would like to announce to the good people of Ghana, especially the youth, what he is saying is, and I quote, "We are very sorry, youth of Ghana, our future leaders. It's obvious that your future in this country is bleak." He is also indirectly telling us that there isn't going to be any more one factory, one district, one factory, one district, one dam. I mean, where is the money to support those ridiculous factories? IMF. The very disastrous decision Ghana was not supposed to take has been taken. When the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange rate will expose you. Unfortunately, what is exposing this very government isn't just the exchange rate, because for that they have already bitten the 8. What is exposing them right now is the IMF. Maybe very soon we will declare bankruptcy and accept that we are becoming yet again slaves to our very own economy. Were we not supposed to be led by the financial guru himself, financial maestro? The man who seemed to know more when it came to our finances. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, what did you miss? Not long ago, at the Pentecost University Hall, we were so assured that despite COVID-19 and the Ukraine war, Ghana was still making good strides. Your VIP dared to quote himself, "If the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange rate will expose you." He stood by those words and still maintained that your economy, our economy, was still doing better. Yet today, we are told that the very reason why we are going back to the IMF is because we cannot and we are unable to come out of the damage that the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukrainian war has caused. Come to think of it, has it gone down with you? Has it been well explained what the money that was given by the same IMF to support us during the COVID-19 pandemic was used for? I mean, $1 million is a lot of money. We sit in this sick country thinking about things that are not going to in any way contribute to the development of this country. Pardon me, but as people mandated by the profession to tell you the fact and to lead you to the fact so you are able to make good judgment, we tell you today that this government has failed you. We are aware that the very excuse will be given is the free water, free light, the rice and egg, kenke and sardine you enjoyed during the lockdown. That was what your $1 million that was granted by the IMF was used for. Until we have been proven wrong, we cannot find any other explanation to how that money was spent. And we ask that the IMF ask for a receipt of what that money was used for, if they must bail out Ghana for the second time. In all of this, there's one person that I have great admiration for, and that is our own Minister of Information, KOJO NKRUMAH, our ex-colleague in the Inky fraternity. I wonder how he sleeps at night. He's had the courage to cover up every inexcusable action of this government. Reminiscing and thinking about everything that they have said about the IMF. I wonder, that is, if behind his pretense or the mask, he isn't walking shoulder low. Well, he had to communicate this blunder to the good people of Ghana. My fellow Ghanaians, I would like you to remember again what Ken Ofori-Atta once said about we being short-sighted people. I would also like you to think about the 2016 tweet by the then presidential candidate, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He asked that we gave him the opportunity to serve us differently. Oh yes, that were his words. Promising Ghanaians better leadership. My friends, did we miss anything in between those lines? I bet we did. Is this the better leadership we were promised in 2016? Is this what the short-sighted people of Ghana voted for? It takes me back to that advert where you see the then President John Mahama in a bus with the people of Ghana, all of us together, leading us and driving us to God knows where. Then all of a sudden, we all jumped off the bus to go meet our very own President Nana Akufo-Addo. Do you remember what we had to run away from? The crocodile. Are we not exhibiting or professing? Are we not living in reality? That's very funny video. It is obvious we are now running away from our president to God knows who. Ghana is in shambles. We are never going to the IMF. We cannot go to the IMF. We were told that homegrown strategies were going to take us out of this predicament. Where are all those strategies? Where are all those policies? Are they failing? Is it so difficult for the president of this country to come out and tell the people exactly what we are facing? The fact that they have been lying to us all this while tells us that these people have taken us for granted. Why can't President Akufo-Addo tell us the situation? Why can't he come out plainly and explain what we are facing? Why can't Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the vice president of this country, admit to his failures? Is it that the shame of admitting that this very government is a failure? It's too heavy a burden to carry. Anyeme. Anyeme gameni yo neke government nemi. Game atwose waka no kwale akekeji wona ngowe waka ke ngono na sikli hu eke ma ke sikli akekeji ona nuwe yosemo ake nuni no ona dan hu na kan no ni many ha nye koninye jeponinye ba wie anokwale. But you see, the most devastating situation about all this is that Ghanaians are not matured enough to practice politics. Oh yes. Politics for us is all about ethnicity. Afomi ganyo. Ewo mi ye biye. Afomi aigbenyo. No hewo NDC nyojimi. Afomi ashantenyo. No hewo MPP nyojimi. We never take time to think about this nation. We never for once think about the betterment, the development of this country. Ghana never wins when it comes to politics in Ghana. It is all about ourselves. It is all about protecting something. Either we are protecting ethnicity, we are protecting our favorites, we are protecting. Everything is about others and not us. This government lied to the people of Ghana. Everything we were promised haven't been fulfilled. It's a shame that we have to go back to the IMF. We have been reminded constantly of what slavery means going back to the IMF. Remember, those bonds, those monies that are released to us are not free. They are loans. Loans that will be paid by you and I. So going back to the IMF means more taxes. Going back to the IMF means fuel increment. Going back to the IMF means we are going to be taxed the more. As if what we are facing is not burden enough. What happened to all those seekers that Akufo-Addo saw? What happened? Where did they go? We are spending so much money on a cathedral that will do nothing, absolutely nothing. And it makes me wonder if after spending our money, after all the corruption, after all the stealing, after all of the money that people are hoarding in foreign accounts and local accounts and in their homes, after enjoying all of that, they still want to enjoy some kind of plush funerals when they die. I mean, what is the use of the cathedral? What are the state functions that is going to take place in that cathedral? with all of the churches we have in this country, we are still where we are. And yet I just don't understand. Anyway, it still remains our opinion. But the sad truth is that you and I are going back to the IMF. In our opinion, at the rate and speed at which Ghana is running, faster than our legs can carry us, we are headed for the worst. We are headed for the worst. We are yet again slaves to our economy. Oh yes, we are going to be slaves to the economy for as long as we repay these conditional loans back to the IMF. That is if our request are granted or is granted. The MPP government is a failure. The NDC is capitalizing on the failure of the MPP. Fortunately, they can rejoice. But it leaves me asking and pondering over the situation, and I want to know if they have been waiting to see us fall into that ditch. And if they were, how does that speak of them? What does that say of them? Nibi fungi ya no ye manemni wo ye ganemni no fia no npoto wo ye ganemni won nake a nibi ni ya no esa eja ehi ni lumenye na metishia amewo amralo na me bi amralo esane ye he nibi ni ya no fe hi wonna aka amralo ye manyo ni gamli ni amralo nema. Yet we have watched on. What way? Ni what here me say neighbor she. You know the sad truth. Even though ni Ghana fe epi ni wo fe wo yo ga eyoyo ye me mpofi mo fe mo. E jake wo le aye wo wie ye na me fe ni se na papa kokra ho ba he ha ga. Sad, right? I repeat again, not disclosing the sad nature, the sad situation we are in with our economy is a fraud. And I'm asking again, is it that our president is so ignorant of the situation? Or he was ignorant of the situation? Is it that the financial gurus do not even know what they are about? Between Baumia and Ken Oforiatta, we cannot say who is lost than the other. Our digital man has failed us. And the man with the zeros, I don't even know how to describe him. If President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was indeed ignorant of the situation, then I beg to ask, who is running this country? What exactly is he doing where he is sitting? Because we know very well, if it was the opposition party, the NDC, the MPP would have rallied. At the end of the day, remember, our president was once part of the Kumi Preko demonstrators. If this is not Kumi Preko, then I wonder what it is. Fellow Ghanaians, like he would say, we are in for a ride. So may God save us all. This has been the editorial from War TV. My name is Nako Koyachireko.